What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about. I'm just gonna release some thoughts and speak in my mind. I'm gonna talk about um generational curses when it comes to dealing with like toxicity within your family and how life kind of plays out within generational curses and spiritual warfare that takes place if you're on a spiritual path and just life in general. I'm also gonna talk about how it's so hard for me to kind of trust God or the universe or trust my higher self, based on the things I've experienced and went through, and how I feel like the things I went through was very unfair, and there's a lot of injustice that I've experienced, and it's hard for me to trust the Creator. It's hard for me to trust God. Um, I'm also going to talk about um just using your painful experiences to level up, and like the importance of like trying to move on from a painful situation when it comes to like a breakup, or if you're trying to get out of your family household, or when you're cutting people off for the better, the importance of using that as motivation to better yourself, and the importance of being in the right path. It might be all over the place, but let's get to it. And again, when I mention God or the universe, these are my beliefs. I believe in everything. So what I believe in may be different for you. So just take what resonates in this video. Obviously, the purpose of my videos, I'm speaking my mind. So like, I'm not trying to like force any belief systems onto people or anything like that, or like I'm just speaking my thoughts through all my videos. So it's random. So don't take it serious. Just whatever resonates. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. Just take what I say. If it resonates with you, then take what applies to you and apply it. But me, I just make videos so I can release my thoughts and stuff like this. I'm not forcing anything onto anyone. But earlier, like, I was driving, and so I went to Walmart just so I could get some stuff. But when I was driving back to my home area, like I was kind of talking to myself, and I was just talking to myself and reflecting on like how like I really do not want to like go back or revisit my family members. Like I really don't. And there are times where like it kind of sucks, because there are times where I'm forced to go back to my hometown and go back to my family's house, not because so I can visit them. I don't care about them, but more so like because I have a lot of my personal belongings and I want to take them with me to my own place. But just the fact that I gotta come to their house and get my shit. And the past couple of years, when I had problems with them, whenever I'll come back to the house and get my stuff, usually I'll call the police, or like I'll call some other family members that I'm actually cool with, that we're in good terms with. I'll tell them to tell them to get out of the house so I can come in and get my stuff, because I don't want to deal with them. Because most of my family members, I blocked them, and it's not out of like I just hate them for no reason. No, because they've done a lot of like shady things, a lot of like horrible things. And it gets to the point where like me, I'm just so fed up. As a human being, you can only take so much abuse, you can only take so much disrespect. And that's when people cut people off, or they block them, and they don't want nothing to do with them. I'm at that stage where like I don't want nothing to do with them. I'm not just saying that out of like pettiness. No, like I don't want to see them. I don't want to deal with them, because it's just so triggering and it's fucking traumatizing. Like the things they've done to me, man, I felt worthless. I felt like I didn't have a voice. Just how, not only what they say and the things they've done, but how they acted. It was like I felt invisible. Where they could just lie on me. They could gaslight me. Just steal my shit, and then whenever I defend myself, they'll like either like shun me, or like they'll deny what I'm experiencing, deny my emotions. They'll like emotionally neglect me, and if they feel some type of way about it, they'll either try to argue back, or like they'll physically harm me. They'll mentally harm me. Like I'll never forget. Oh my god, I don't see with my videos. Sometimes I gotta be very careful what I say, because like I love sharing personal information, but like I just don't want certain people to see my videos, and they're probably gonna think I'm crazy, or they're probably think I'm mentally unstable, which is not the case. It's just I've just been through horrible things. but I'm very self-aware emotionally. Not saying I'm perfect. I'm very self-aware, and I'm very like smart, not in egotistical way, but I know how to navigate through fucked up situations. So like how I present myself on YouTube videos is completely different in the real world. It's not fake either. I just my videos, I like to talk about my pain and my trauma and my anger, but I don't act like that in the real world. So I'm worried that like if people that I know that actually see my videos over here, they're probably gonna think I'm crazy or I'm psychotic or I'm unstable, which is not the case. It's just I've been through a lot of horrible things that I need to share so I can release, and like but so I gotta be very mindful. But fuck it, I might as well just say some certain things, but I'll just never forget, man. It's a long story short, but like my stepfather, man, like he's the type of person where like who like throw a lot of shots verbally, he'll try to talk down on me and stuff like that. I don't know if it's because of envy or just how he is as a person, but like while I was trying to join the military, and he knew I was trying to join, then he was just kind of talking down on me. He was saying like, oh, I'm not gonna do good in the military. I don't like working with people. I'm not built for it, or like just something like that. And like he told me like how hard it's gonna be. So he's kind of like discouraging me and stuff like that, and it was just me and him in the garage. So he was just talking to me, and I was minding my own business too. Like I came back from work, and again I was dealing with this narcissistic, covert narcissism within the workplace. So I was already dealing with that shit. So it was toxic. That workplace was toxic. Whenever I come back from home, then I had to deal with him. It was me, him, and he was talking down on me, saying like, oh, the military is gonna be very hard for me, or like I'm not good at working with people, or like, are you sure you want to do this? Because it may not be a good fit for you. And he wasn't saying it out like he cared about me. He was more so, it just seemed like he was saying it out of like he's trying to talk down, or like he didn't want me to do it so I could be successful. Like he's kind of talking shit or dissing, And I've noticed whenever like I show my body language that like I'm getting pissed, and he'll kind of play victim and all that. And he kept talking, and I just walked away from him, And I feel like he's trying to provoke me, because whenever I try to talk and try to be like, I forgot what I said, because it was in 2020. I forgot what I said, but it's like whenever I talk, then he'll act all victim, he'll provoke me, and then when I talk over, I try to talk over him to explain like what he's saying is wrong, or like I'm trying to explain my situation. Then he'll kind of play victim, like he'll act like I'm trying to start some shit with them. I'm not, but it's just triggering. It's very okay. So anyways, so when that happened, I just walked away. I went straight to my room upstairs. I didn't want to deal with them. I was just very tripped out. I'm like, what the hell is this problem? And me, I feel like I am tapped into my intuition. I do consider myself sensitive to energy. I'm very hyper vigilant, so I could kind of read body language and people's tone of voice and their facial expressions due to my upbringing, I believe. Also, another thing is because I do believe, I came in with some spiritual gifts. Not ego. I don't want to say this. It's not even that, because we all have spiritual gifts. I mean, like in a way where like I consider myself very sensitive, and when you're very sensitive, you could tap into, or like you it's very easy for you to feel energy and stuff like that. I've seen certain spirits growing up, so I'm able to kind of tap into energy. So I kind of sense when someone's up to no good, or I'm very tapped into my intuition when someone has bad intentions, and I just felt like I had to get away from them. So that's why I just mended conversation. I just kept trying to talk down on me. I believe I was just fed up, so I was kind of freaked out and confused. So I went upstairs and I called my mom. I told her that like Hector, he was trying to talk down on me. I mean, I said his name, fuck. So I called my mom. So then I told my mom that like my stepdad, he's trying to talk down on me, and like he just I don't know, he's just talking shit pretty much, And I called my mom because it was like I was just so freaked out. It was like I don't know what the fuck is the problem, and I felt unsafe. So I went upstairs, called her. So then moments later, my mom called my stepdad, And then my stepdad, and I was kind of hearing it. And supposedly, like, my stepdad, like, he was denying it. He was saying, like, oh, I wasn't trying to talk shit to him, or, like, I wasn't doing this and that. Like, he was kind of, like, shouting and stuff like that. I kind of heard him through upstairs. And then moments later, my mom called me. And then she started yelling at me. She started shouting at me. And she was like, Jared, what the... She's like, Jared, he's not trying to talk shit to you, this and that. Why are you always trying to start problems with the family? Why are you always doing this? And yada, yada, yada. It's like, you're always starting problems. What the hell is your problem? And she was saying shit like that. She was yelling and shouting. And during that time frame, me and my family, while I was living in their household, we would always have fights and, like, arguments and even physical violence. So we already didn't get along, but obviously I was forced to interact with them because I couldn't get out of my situation, you know? I couldn't have my own place. I didn't even have my own car because it was hard for me to find work. I was working. It was hard for me to find work to where I was making enough money to get out of my situation. So she called me yelling this and that. And then I got pissed off because it's like, because I know what I've experienced. I knew, like, he was trying to talk down on me. I knew what he was doing, and it made me uncomfortable. And for my mom to not, I mean, let's say I was wrong, right? But just for her to say things like, "Oh, I'm always starting problems with the family. I'm always a problem," and for her to kind of to shout and yell and say stuff like that, that really pissed me off because it's like, again, me and my family history always had a history of attacking me and me defending myself and them not hearing my side of the story. So that I was just very frustrated and pissed off, man. And during that time in my workplace, I just kept dealing with a lot of toxicity within the workplace. So she kept doing that. I was fed up. So then I was kind of arguing back with her, this and that. Then I got pissed, you know. And then, yeah, but it just made me realize that, like, you know, my family, they ain't shit, man. They ain't shit. You know, I gave them a lot of chances too. I gave them benefit of the doubt, where, like, okay, maybe they don't mean it, or maybe they're healing, or maybe they're becoming more self-aware of their ways. No, man, because they'll always do the same shit. They always do things, not take accountability. It's fucked up, man. So it made me realize, we're like, you know, is it like generational curses? I do believe I am experiencing generational curses. When you're meant for great things, but you, as experiencing generational curses, is like all the trauma and toxicity your family and your bloodline had to endure, they're gonna place that shit onto you. This is why you have your scapegoats or your black sheep of the family, and they get attacked a lot. And it's a spiritual thing. So, like, even family members, they don't know why they do the things they do, but they love to gang up on a certain individual who's meant to break generational curses. And it's a spiritual thing as well, because all this shit they're experiencing, all the abuse, is unexplainable. There are a lot of things I've experienced where, like, even looking back, like, it just seems so paranormal. There's other YouTubers, some of them say that when you're around dysfunctional family members, they're attacking you. They tend to be possessed by, like, the devil or the demon or negative entities, and they're trying to bring that person down. They're meant for, like, great things. So I've heard so many theories like that. I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel like it's spiritual. So it's fucked up, man. So yeah, I was thinking, like, I feel like at a certain point, I might have to visit their household. Even though before I do that, I will call the police, or I will call someone to let them know that I'm here to pick up my personal belongings, but I don't want no one near the house. I don't want no one near me because I don't want to deal with them. It's triggering, you know, but it's just fucked up, man. Where, like, you have to cut off your family members, and, like, it feels lonely because I'm the only one doing this shit, you know. And I'm not making videos because I miss them. No, I'm just making videos because I'm so just pissed off, and you know, I'm just fed up with that shit. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. So that plays in the role for me on why it's so hard for me to trust God or to trust the universe. Cause I feel like God or the universe, they really put me through a lot of fucked up shit. And as human beings, we all experience fucked up shit. This is part of the human experience. Maybe so we could get closer to source, we could get closer to ourselves. Because if we experience fucked up shit, then we're forced to let go of your ego and to dive deep within yourself so you can get closer to your higher self, your spirit, wherever. Like, it could be any situation. Some people experience that shit with like people, dysfunctional family. Some people experience that with career. It could be anything. Where like, I feel like life will throw bullshit at you, so you can let go of that ego and you can dive deep within yourself, so you can be more in tune, get closer within yourself. You know, some people call it God, the universe, your higher self, etc. And I've learned this from my tarot reader, and she made a great point. But it's just, now how that plays a role to me, like using that negativity as motivation. I'm not gonna lie, like I really wanna flex on them. Not, I don't like the word flex, it's kind of corny, but I really wanna fucking shit on them. Like, I really wanna shit on them. You know? Like, I remember my older sibling, like me and him, we had an argument because he refused to give me my money. And then I was arguing with him on the phone, and like he'll talk all that shit through the phone and all that. But when we'll be together in the house, he wouldn't say shit. But whenever he'll get away, then he'll talk shit to me on the phone, you know? And when I got kicked out the house, I was trying to get my personal stuff with me so I could take with me once I get back to my military living area. And I had a couple of days left before I'm supposed to leave so I could go back to my military area. But I wanted to grab my personal stuff from my old house, right? And when I was doing it, the houses were locked because they kicked me out the house. And guess who was in that house? My brother. And he knew I was trying to get in that house. I was knocking at the doorbell, but he kept me locked. He locked everything. So I went through the back, and I was there for like hours and stuff. And he knew I was trying to get my personal stuff. So I was climbing through the house, going through the backyard, tried to open the window. I don't know how I did it, but oh no, and then windows were locked, so he locked the whole thing. But his back room on his window was open. So I managed to open that window, and I went through his room, and he was hiding in the fucking corner. So all that shit he was talking, and like all the things he was doing purposely to lock me out, I saw him face to face, and he didn't say shit. He was hiding in the corner. And I told him, hey, you know, I know you love to talk shit behind closed doors. I know you're not about that life, which is understandable. But, and I let him know that he did was fucked up. I told him if he had a problem with it, that's his problem. But if he ever lays any type of hand on me, then I will lay my hand back on him. I told him I'm not going to fight him. I'm not going to fuck him up. But I did told him what he did was very cowardly. And if he ever laid a hand on me, just know that I will lay my hands on him. So I didn't do anything. Unless he laid his hands on me, then I'll lay my fucking hands on him. Like, I have the green light to do that. So after I told him that, he didn't say shit. So I went to grab my personal stuff, and I think he called the cops as well before I even came in the house. Because, you know, be like, while I was locked in, trying to lock the door, try to figure out to get inside the house, he called the cops. Because after I said that, then he left the house, and he seemed all calm here and there. Like, okay. So he left the house, drove off, and me, I didn't even have a car. And then moments later, the cops came in and told me that one of my family members told that cop that like I was trying to break in the house, or do I even live here? I was like, yeah. I don't remember. It was like a while back. And the cops want to make sure that I'm not into trouble or anything like that. But that cop did say one of my family members kind of called the house, told me that I was trying to break in. I'm like, no, I was trying to get my personal stuff. So that cop drove off and stuff like that. A lot of crazy shit. So I got my personal stuff here and there. And then my brother called me again. So right after he left the house, when I confronted him, he didn't do shit. The same one who locked me out purposely, and he called the cops on me, he left the house. Then like moments later, he called me. Then he was talking so much shit to me. He was name calling. Like, he was talking mad shit. And he still owed me money because Because me and him, there are times we're cool. Like, we're on and off. I mean, we're not cool right now. I want nothing to do with him after all this shit you put me through. But back then, like, we used to always have fights here and there. But then, at least, it'll be me, not him. I'll always be the one that'll forgive him. So then whenever he'll call me that he needs help with money, or he wants to lend me, like he wanted me to lend money for him, there are times he'll call me while I was drunk and stuff like that. You know, so I'll give him money here and there, like $100 here and there. And he never paid me back. So I called him, hey, you know, pay me back my money. He refused to pay me back. Then he was just talking all that shit to me. I was like, first off, how you gonna talk all that shit, but yet when I saw you face to face, you didn't do shit. You didn't do shit, but yet you wanna fucking talk shit behind the phone. And I told him he's a pussy and he's a coward, but he has a history of doing this. He has a history. Like, on my past videos, I've mentioned, like, there's a situation to where I wanted to go to work, but I was kind of like late. So I told him if I could get a ride from him, and me and him were cool at the time. And then he's like, sure. So he gave me a ride to work. And while we were in the middle of the street, like, he started, like, out of nowhere, he was trying to talk shit, or like he would try to provoke me. He was saying that, like, hey, you know, I need to stop fighting with my mom here and there, when he didn't even know the full story of why we're even fighting in the first place. And I told him that, but I understand, at the same time, I told him I understand where he's coming from, but I told him, you know, you don't know the full story. And I was trying to explain it to him. Then he tried to interrupt me here and there. And then how he was looking at me, his tone of voice, his energy, like he's trying to, like, put me down, or like he's trying to, like, talk over me, and like he was mad dogging me, and he had a fucking attitude, you know. And then me, so as he kept talking, then I told him, well, hey, you also have an attitude. At times you do try to fight with other people as well. And he has. And so now I told him, okay, yeah, it's cool. You can tell me not to do this and that, but he's not even, but you don't even know the situation on why me and my mom are even fighting in the first place. But, and I told him, but look at you though. You also do the same thing. You fight with other family members, and there are times you have attitude. Then his exact words was like, he stopped the car and he told me to get the fuck out the car in the middle of the street. And I was like, what the hell? So I kind of freaked out. My fight or flight mode kicked in. So he just told me to get the fuck out the car. I'm like, what the hell? So it was in the middle of the street. So and he stopped. So I left the car and I went to go run straight to my house so I could let my family know what he did, and so I could call Uber. And I was going straight to my house, and again, I didn't have a car at the time. He had a vehicle, and he started, like, driving fast, like he was like he drove back to the house. So I didn't have time to go back to the house, and I didn't even know he did that. So I saw his car. He was driving fast, like he was speeding and shit like that. And I was running, so he beat me to the house. And guess what he did? He blamed all the family members, and he told them that, like, I was trying to start a fight with him. Keep in mind, I didn't threaten him. I did not threaten him. I did not yell at him or anything like that. I just told him what he was doing and how I felt like he was rubbing me off the wrong way. Then he told me to get the fuck out the car. So obviously he's the one that's emotionally unstable and shit like that. But yet he fucking lied to all my family members, and he told them that I was trying to start fights with them. They locked me out the house. My older siblings and my mom told me I'm always trying to start fights with people. Now they're talking shit. Then long story short, I had a fight. It led up to my older sibling. He's like older than me by like 12 years. I don't know what happened, but it led to us two fighting. Then we started fist fighting. Obviously, I lost. He took my phone, threw my phone. Then I forgot what happened, but I remember I was in the ground. He just started, like, socking me and like just laying hands on me and stuff like that. I was in the ground. Then I think my mom broke it up. And then they went back in the house, and then they locked me out the house again. My older sibling, the one that beat me up, he was yelling and screaming how much he would fuck me up and stuff like that. I called the cops. The cops showed up, and the ambulance. I don't know why I called the ambulance, but because, like, I kind of freaked out. So I think I called the ambulance. I called 911. You know, it was embarrassing. and like the cops showed up, and I explained them what happened, and they did not believe my side of the story here and there. And then keep in mind, I was late to work, so my employees, they were calling me to see where I'm at, because they called. So on that day, so I was going to work. They called me because they wanted me to go to work because, well, technically it was my off day, so I wasn't supposed to work. But they called me because they wanted me to fill in the shift voluntarily, and they told me if I wanted to do it, and I told them, yeah, sure, why not? So that's why I wanted to go to work. So I was really late, but I was in a rush to take over a shift. I was like, why not? So I can make more money. So that's why. So they're calling me. So I had a lot of missed calls here and there. They're sending me voicemails, and I didn't have time to call them because I was dealing with that situation. The cops got involved. The ambulance was there, you know. So I talked with the cops. They didn't believe my side of the story. One of the cops says, they're just words. Like, why are you so worried about your family members saying this and that? It's just words. Just ignore it, you know. And he's saying it in a very fucked up way, you know. And then my older sibling, like, he's talking shit, be like, you called the whole ambulance just for that? And he told me that's why they give you a little ass band-aid and shit like that. So fast forward, I got kicked out of the house. I moved in with my grandma. I missed work. And long story short, some bullshit happened at work, so it caused me to leave work, and I didn't get fired or anything like that, but my employees, they got mad at me because I never showed up to that shift, and they thought I didn't care, or I didn't give a fuck, and I was too embarrassed to tell them about what happened with me and my family members. I was too embarrassed. And like, I'm a very private person, so I'm the type of person where, like, I don't like to share my personal information and my business with my family towards other people, regardless how fucked up the situation is. So I made up a lie. So now they're all giving me like an attitude problem here and there, and I was dealing with so much bullshit and stress, and I didn't want to deal with that. And mid shift, I guess I wasn't wearing the right shoes or anything like that, and then the manager told me, hey, you're not wearing the right work shoes. You got to get out, go back to your house, and get the right shoes. And then I told him, and it was something else. I think I didn't have the right hat for my workplace. And we're both kind of arguing at the kitchen. And then he told me, hey, Jared, look at everyone else. Do you see how they're wearing the right uniform here and there? And he was like, that? So then he's trying to like humiliate me or embarrass me in front of people like that. And then I got fed up, and then I'll never forget that day. I just decided, I told him I quit. I'm not gonna work here no more, and I just dipped out mid shift because I didn't want to deal with all that shit. Did I handle it the right way? Nope. Was I professional about it? Nope. But I was just fed up. There's just so much things that was just fucked up, man. There's a lot to explain. There's a lot more things, but it's just a lot to explain. And this is where I'm getting at. Like, all the things I've experienced, I do believe it's spiritual. I do believe it's spiritual warfare in some way, because how everything would just lead up is just fucked up. It's very fucked up. So I'm really surprised how, like, I'm not the type, like, all the experiences I went through, even though it made me better, I'm still traumatized. I'm still trying to heal from that situation. I'm just very surprised how, like, it didn't turn me to a type of individual that will harm other people, because I do try my best to treat people with respect, and I remain kind-hearted, and I'm very self-aware, so I know how to navigate through these tough situations. But not saying it's easy, because I'm still in the human body. I still have a brain, so I still have nerves, so I'm still traumatized. But like, spiritually, I'm aware of why I'm experiencing things I'm experiencing. I know how to get over it, but physically, my body is traumatized from these experiences. And I still have a lot of emotional baggage when it comes to anger, revenge, and bitterness, sadness, and my inner child being upset. But that same brother, so all that so you see how all that shit led up to that? because of my brother, because his ability to not take accountability. So fast forward, we were arguing through the phone, and I'll never forget what he said. He told me, I don't have a fucking car. Why don't I buy a fucking car and get out and get out? He told me I couldn't catch him because he just told me just to get a fucking car. And he told me that's why you don't even have a car. You know, so I felt powerless. I just felt like it's fucked up, man. Man, like this shit, like, I'm telling you, like, this spiritual warfare, man. Spiritual warfare. But fast forward, and this is what I'm getting at. This is why I try to use all those experiences as motivation for me to be successful materialistically. The reason why I say materialistically, because again, this world is bullshit. There is a spiritual side to this human experience. Success and how people view success in this society is an illusion. It's programming. Buying a house, having a certain car, having a certain amount of money, working at a certain career, having females, the type of clothes you wear, all that is programming. But from a egotistical, from a average human perspective, that's considered successful. Having a certain career, making a certain amount of money, having a nice car, having a nice girlfriend, or just shit like that, you know? But me, is like, I know the programming, but at the same time, I try to use it to my advantage. So materialistically, I try to use that as motivation to kind of shit on them, because now, fast forward, I got a car. I'm doing the healing work, you know? I'm trying to improve within my career, within my finances, right? So next time when they see me, I could shit on them because of all this shit they put me through. And I'm not even living to my fullest potential. That's what I mean by ego-based. And I understand it is ego-based, and that's not how you should go about it. But at least for me, how I view it is that, like, when you go through certain things in life, sometimes it is okay to use revenge to show these motherfuckers, like, who the fuck you are, and trying to, like, show them that, like, I could also manifest great things materialistically as well. Because obviously they're operating from a low programming. So I'm trying to use their perspectives and their programming. It's hard to explain. But that's not what life is about. When people do you wrong, you shouldn't like when you're trying to reach success, it's not even that. Because Chauncey one, he made a great point. If you're on your mission, if you're on the spiritual path, if you're on your soul's path, then you're automatically successful. It doesn't matter what type of car you have, how much money you have. If you're on your path, spirit will always back you up. Just the fact that you're taking steps to do your mission, that's successful enough, and spirit is gonna reward you regardless, you know? But this is what I'm getting at. At times I use that as motivation to want more out of life, but at times the things I've experienced, it kind of like, it's hard for me to trust source. It's hard for me to trust God or the universe for them even allowing them to do the things they do. And I understand human beings have free will, so it was their free will. Maybe it was spiritual warfare, it's demonic influences, who knows? It's generational curses, who knows? Or I was in an unfortunate situation, who knows? But all I'm saying is, I'm not gonna lie, I do feel bitter. I do feel jaded, and I do feel mad for I feel like what God put me through, you know? Because I had a lot of sleepless nights. I felt low about myself. Like, it was hard for me to pick myself back up. And it wasn't like, oh, it was just like a one-time thing with my family. No, like, there's more stories. There's more situations like that. And again, I'm not saying they're our fault, because when there's conflict and arguments and fights like that, it takes two people. So I'm not saying I'm at fault. I mean, so I'm not saying like, oh, I'm an angel. No, but what I can say is that there are certain things where I felt like I had a right to react and defend myself based on what they put me through. Me, by using negativity, like fighting back, verbally fighting back and stuff like that, on what they put me through. Again, not saying I'm perfect, I'm an angel, but But yeah, but there are times where like I just get mad at God, or I feel that disconnect. Like I used to pray a lot, but it's hard for me to pray like that because it's like if I'm constantly experiencing narcissistic people and abusive situations like that, can I really trust God? Can I really trust the universe? Like, it really has my back, you know? So this is why it's hard to explain. Because I view things from a higher perspective. I do a lot of studying and I study myself the most I can. And I'm into spirituality, I'm into philosophy, so all this shit happens from a higher perspective, you know? Through karma, through generational curses, through spiritual warfare, and not taking life personally because it's part of the human experience. If you're made for great things, you are going to get attacked, you know? There's a lot of things on how you can view when it comes to spirituality, because what my tarot reader said, she made a great point. When it comes to spirituality, it's limitless. Like there's no right or wrong. So how you view a situation, if you feel like it was God's fault, just do whatever. Like she made a great point. She said spirituality is very open ended. So meaning you could turn any bad situation. If you're able to change your mindset and your perspective, you can get out of that situation. For example, if you were to lose an arm or a leg, you may say, "Oh, God doesn't care about me," or I just have bad luck. But with spirituality, you could be like, "I lost an arm and a leg. Well, no big deal. I've experienced that, but what has it taught me? What tools do I have to overcome that situation?" And it wasn't meant to happen for me in purpose to lose my leg or arm, no. But I could learn from it. I could learn how to overcome it, and in return, I can inspire people. I could help myself. I could, I can inspire the whole world, and it will make me mentally stronger than the average person who never gets to experience losing a leg or an arm. That's using spirituality to better yourself, to change your mindset, to get out of any situation, you know. But I don't know. At times, I be thinking like, man, the things I've experienced was fucked up, man. Like, why would God or the universe put me through that shit? Like, why would my ancestors put me through that? It's fucked up, you know? But, and at times, I kind of do use it as motivation. So I try to use that as my advantage to want more or to, like, not give up in life, you know? But yeah, but if you're watching this video, like I said earlier, it could be any situation. It doesn't have to be my situation. Any situation you're going through, use that situation or these multiple situations to better yourself, and don't be stuck at a certain mindset or a certain program to where it keeps you stuck. Like it's like, I guess, don't play victim. Even though you are a victim, I do believe there are victims in this world, and the things we've experienced is fucked up. It's not right. But what I'm saying is that, like, it is possible for you to have a different perspective to overcome harsh situations. And always love yourself, always acknowledge yourself, and just know that the things you're experiencing, no, it was not right. It was not fair at all. It's not fair at all. It's not right. And you don't deserve those things. But just the fact that you're experiencing those things, it just shows how great and how important your soul mission is and how much you're meant for great things. Because the greater your life is, then the harsher the obstacles are going to be. This is why when Chauncey once said, tougher spirits tend to have more blockages or they go through more bullshit. Because once they're able to overcome it, they'll be unstoppable, you know? And that really caught my attention. But it could be any perspective, you know? And I don't mean this in an egotistical way where, like, oh, if you're not experiencing that, that means you're not a strong or powerful spirit. No, it's not that, because, again, it's life. It's open-ended. Some people, it could be spiritual warfare. Wrong place, wrong time, who knows? But just because you're not experiencing those things doesn't mean you're any less or any greater than, no. You know, I'm just talking about if you're experiencing bad situations, the importance of spirituality and the importance of using different types of perspectives to get out of your situation. That makes sense, you know? But oh no, all I'm saying is that, like, success, in my opinion, is the greatest revenge. And I do believe in karma. I've seen a lot of tarot readings, a lot of spiritual videos about karma. So I do believe God and the universe, they are watching and they are aware of what's going on, and they will find a way to make up for the things I've experienced, you know. But that's all I gotta say. I know I'm all over the place, but just use your painful experiences as motivation to get out of your situation. Again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm an angel. I've done things I regret, but the main things in life, one of the important things in life, is to overcome your situations that's holding you back when it comes to your emotions, to your habits, anything like that. Always treat people with respect. You know, don't do people wrong unprovoked. Treat people how you want to be treated, you know. I strongly believe in the laws of karma. But at the same time, if I'm too paranoid about it, it could go against me, you know. Meaning if someone were to do me wrong, I'd be like, oh, what if karma's a real thing? But I've heard with karma is that like when someone do you wrong, then you have the green light to give that person that same energy, because at that point it's an even playground. It's an even battlefield. If someone were to do you wrong, then you have the green light to do that person wrong. Just don't do it too severe, you know, or it's gonna backfire on you and shit like that. But I feel like God and the universe, they see all things and they do work in mysterious ways. So if people do you wrong, just know that like karma and life will bite these people in the ass who do you wrong. And if you're lucky enough, you might have front row seats to witness their bullshit. But one of the main important things in life is to have gratitude and to do the best you can to be the best version of yourself, and to not treat people the way how you don't want to be treated, and to follow your mission, follow your path, do the healing work, expand your horizons, always love yourself, always show compassion with yourself, and be very strategic. Always have an open mind. Always have an open mind. Always learn new things, because you just don't want to stay closed-minded. Because if you stay closed-minded, then you're going to have a certain outlook or a certain program with their life. It's always important to have an open mind. This is why when Mooney Mercury Baby, he made a great point. He talks about all possibilities and the importance of like, instead of pandering or arguing with like other people about perspectives, why not just take what resonates with what they're saying and apply it to your life? That's how you expand and grow. So shout out to Mooney Mercury, shout out to Chauncey One, because they made great points and I use their information to help me navigate through life so I can become a better version of myself, along with other spiritual YouTubers, you know. So it's a long video. I know I'm all over the place, but I just want to release some thoughts. But always important to have an open mind. But always love yourself and always know yourself, so you know what's for you and what's not for you, you know. And always have gratitude, and just know that you can always be put in a worse situation. So use that as motivation to get out of your situation for the better, you know. And try to stay out of trouble and just do the right thing. Follow your life path mission, and spirit is gonna reward you. Shout out to Chauncey One. But at the same time, I forgot what I was gonna say. But at the same time, just don't get caught up in bullshit, you know. But and it is easier said than done. I know I talked about success and motivation, but it is easier said than done. So when you slip up, when you experience setbacks, or when you feel like you just don't feel like doing it, don't beat yourself up over it, because again, it's life. Life is just a huge ass school and a lesson that you're constantly always learning. So don't beat yourself up. Show yourself compassion. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy life. Laugh. Have fun. There's always a point to laugh and have fun. Make friends. Meet new people. Expand your horizons. Don't take life too seriously. I mean, don't take life personal, but take life seriously. But don't take life personal. Life is short, so have fun. When bad things happen to you, just brush it off. Learn from it. Don't be like the same people who inflict pain onto you, you know. And it could be any situation. It could be a work situation, or you know, just don't take it personal. Just learn from it and just know that like karma is a real thing. So if you're to experience bad situations without you even doing anything, just know that life always find a way to rebalance that shit through wisdom, through materialistically, do anything, you know. And that's all I gotta say. And like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one. Peace.